Sports. For some, it's a hobby. But for others, it's a way of life.
Hi, my name is Alex Borchers. I'm an ex-college athlete.
Rob Borchers, father, general sports enthusiast.
Throughout my life, sports has been a huge part of my life. For the most part, it is primarily revolved around sports, from an early age.
Integral role, lots of life lessons. Probably a daily event for me, some sort of sport.
I was a three-sport athlete in high school. I was a collegiate athlete for the last 5 years of my life, so.
It's a nice distraction. It's a high interest of mine. Again, I come back to life lessons because sports is a microcosm of life, in my opinion. That's just how I see it. I think that everything that happens in sports is transferable to life, teaches you how to live that way.
In light of the recent pandemic, sports have been postponed worldwide. But just how far does this affect people who love sports the most?
It's hard for me to speak about because, I put so much of my life into it, and, it's really just a tragedy, and it is for the people that play it, and especially the fans. It's a terrible thing.
Not thrilled, not happy. For a number of reasons. First is it, a pastime of mine, it's a hobby. There's a connection between my family, my boys and I, mostly, related to sports, so that was just a nice connection. And the indefinite part, of course, we all want to know it's going to come back.
Day to day, everything's changed.
Most days I'll have a sport running in the background, kind of keeping up on it, not really focused on it, but keeping an eye on it, what's going on. Sports talk radio was pretty integral in my day. Don't really have a lot of, I just don't listen to that right now.
There's nothing to watch on the weeknights. There's nothing to do on the weekends.
I just miss the day-to-day thing and the excitement.
Yeah, I find other stuff to preoccupy my time. I've learned to play the guitar. I picked up reading books.
I read more, so I've done that. I find myself reading more. And again, focus on the pandemic, research the heck out of that. I've looked back at some old sporting events. That's kind of fun to relive some of that stuff.
Me and my buddies are in a Madden league, so that's one way I can kind of keep that competitive nature going.
Otherwise, day to day, it's I don't know, kind of just following more news, which isn't really a good thing because there isn't a lot of good news.
So what does the world of sports after the pandemic look like? And if anything, what can we take away from all of this?
To be honest with you, I hope it goes back to fairly, normal, but, who can tell?
It's going to be interesting because related to the pandemic, it's going to change the way that live sports are watched at the event, at the venue.
When they're trying to do social distancing, it's hard to see how that would translate into a stadium and into an arena. How do you keep people apart? How do you keep those crazy fans apart from each other?
I do think on the other side of it, there's going to be a lot more value placed in it. Not for the monetary side of it, just for the social side of it, and for the value in society. I think the public is going to miss it, and they're going to understand why. They're going to figure out why they needed it.
If there was any silver lining, I would say having no sporting events has definitely freed up a ton of time. So, those things that you typically put off, those things that you wanted to do in your life but you just didn't have time to do. You can't make that excuse anymore. You got all the time in the world, so just put your mind towards something productive, something that makes you happy.
I think I've spent more time communicating maybe with my wife and with my family. I've seen our family more. We've done more of that old school family stuff, so that's a silver lining.
Yeah, I guess that would be the silver lining that I would take from it.